Anger is a big energy with the potential to be incredibly destructive and also empowering in our lives. And the key is, how do you handle it when it arises? Sometimes it can feel like an overwhelming volcano of energy that's about to explode through you. And it's such a deep and powerful emotion that a lot of us really don't have a lot of experience with handling it well. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a two-part process to handle your anger, starting with how to just be with the immensity of the sensations and the feelings of the energy, and then once you've moved through that, then getting at the deeper understanding that the anger is trying to teach you so that you can move out of it into empowerment. If we haven't met, I'm Karen McMullen. I have channeled several books, Alchemy of Consciousness and Awaken to Your Starseed Mission, which are really all about practical wisdom to help us navigate these incredibly turbulent and challenging times of the global grand reorganization. I share my messages weekly here on my YouTube channel, so you might want to subscribe to stay in touch and stay in the loop about what I'm sharing. If you found this video right now and you are really feeling angry, go ahead and skip ahead until the process is, and I'll put the timestamps below so that you can skip ahead and just get right into the process and use them to process the anger. Anger is a completely natural response to a violation of your boundary, an injustice, and an abuse of power. It just so happens that we are living in a time right now when all of those things are really coming up to the surface, and we're having put right in our faces the incredible injustices, the incredible corruption and abuses of power that have always been at play for forever, but that are now just sort of being placed right in plain view so that we can deal with them and move beyond it into a more whole and harmonious society. So how we handle anger in our personal lives as well as collectively is really essential right now. So let's get right into today's message from the Council of Light, and then I'll meet you on the other side to share with you a process for actually working with the anger.
Awaken to Your Starseed Mission, Episode 23, Anger. You are processing anger that is very old, from childhood. Childhood isn't that old, I'm only 39. Yes, but the themes related to your anger are ages old. Dominance of one who is more powerful over one who is weaker. Jealousy over one who is shiny in a particular way, over one who is temporarily disconnected from God. Injustice of one who is dominant, who mistreats another with no consequences. These are the themes you are processing and letting go of. From the moment you were born, as a baby, you were on the receiving end of the energy of jealousy. Your connection to the universal love of God was strong. Those in temporary disconnection from that love aimed darts of negativity towards you. It is important to understand the past in order to let go of anger. First, understand the mechanism of how you felt powerless, betrayed, silenced, and unsafe continuously throughout your childhood, especially in your early years. Once you understand what happened and how you were affected, then you will be able to reparent that young girl who took those states as her norm. Then you will be able to establish a new normal. This is why you have been feeling so much shoulder tension in the past month, and now why you have been feeling irritable and angry. These themes are bubbling to the surface to be processed. Anger surfaces where there is a power imbalance, and the one with more power is not using it to the advantage of both parties. Anger surfaces where there is injustice. As you process this anger, you are rising into your power. You are reclaiming parts of yourself that set themselves as weak. You made yourself vulnerable to attack by those with ill wishes because you were used to being dominated and mistreated from the outset. But it is always possible to rewrite the past. It is always possible to go back to those places and situations in your mind and heart to fully understand what happened from your objective viewpoint now as an adult and to bring to that past self the resources that she lacked to be whole in that situation. Continue to do this work until you do not have a triggered anger response. A triggered anger response is occurring when the emotion of anger is nonsensical relative to what is actually happening in real life. For example, when you get angry about your boyfriend making a playful imitation voice, there is no real injustice there. There is no real domination. It is a trigger that reminds you of a past wound. Anything else? Not for now. Just do this work, quickly, now. It is arising right now because it's ripe and ready to be released. When the moment strikes for healing, take the opportunity. Do the work both with the support of gifted facilitators and on your own.
Welcome back. One of the main points that I took from today's channel message is that one, when anger arises, it's an opportunity, because if we don't process and handle that energy as it is present, then we miss the opportunity to really work with the energy, and we can so easily go into distraction or redirection of the energy or repression of the energy, and not then have the ability to work with it. Another thing that I took from today is that when anger arises, it's really wanting to move us into a more empowered version of ourselves, and it's wanting to cultivate certain traits or characteristics. So situations can arise in our lives that show us the direction of our evolution, and anger is part of that pathway. When anger arises, it's also indicating an alchemy that wants to take place to move beyond it. And so one of my teachers, Jerome Braggs, talks about just how important it is not to deny anger, to work with the energy, to get it out, but not also to dwell in anger, because it's not healthy for our bodies to consistently stay in that energy of anger. We need to learn how to move through it and into an alchemy to the other side of what it's trying to move us towards. There are many ways to do that, and there's no possible way to describe them all. You really need to use your intuition about who to contact for support, what methods to use in the moment, and what to grab out of your toolkit to handle the energies and to work with them. So today I just want to share with you one possible process that you can use when you're handling the big energies of anger. And we'll move through a two-part process. First, just handling the bigness of the emotions and the energy in the body itself. And then the second part, once we've got more calm and contained, is to really get out a deeper understanding of the root cause of the anger, so that you can move through the alchemy into the new traits of empowerment that are wanting to be developed within you. So welcome to this process for processing the physical energy of anger. If you're feeling angry right now, this is the perfect time to use this process. And what we're going to do, we're just going to start to breathe. Breathing big and stretching the arms, expanding the chest, and then exhaling all the way, rounding the spine, rounding the head. Inhaling big and expanding the body and the breath, exhaling, rounding. Rooting your feet into the ground. Feel your feet rooted. Inhale and exhale. As you exhale now, squeeze your hands into fists. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze your face. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale. Release. Inhale, release, and expand. And on the exhale, squeeze everything. Squeeze your fists. Really hold. Exhale all the way. Hold the breath. And then inhale when you're ready, expanding. Exhale. Inhale. So the squeezing is helping to release some of the pent-up energy. You can also do things like scream into a pillow, stamp your feet, punch a pillow, punch a bed here. Any of those things, if they appeal to you, you can do. Try not to think too much, just be with the energy. Expand, 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 and then exhale. Exhaling audibly, inhale. Exhale. Squeeze. Keep going for as long as you need to. Inhaling, expanding, and exhale, squeezing everything in. So if you need to keep going with this. Keep going as long as it takes to kind of move some of that energy. Ideally, you're feeling a lot of heat. You're getting the energy moving through all of your body. Notice if there are any places of tension. So keep going with that step if you need to keep going and be present with the big energies. If you're ready for the next step, you will feel more calm. Okay, you'll feel that the energies are equalizing within your body and that there's more of a flow. So go ahead now and just stand, feeling your feet on the ground. Roll your shoulders up and back. Maybe take some gentle movements. Notice any places of tension in your body. Maybe in your jaw. So relaxing your jaw. Noticing your body. You can even touch yourself. Just grounding in. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. So you're nourishing yourself with attention. So placing attention throughout the body, noticing the sensations, and also touching yourself and feeling grounded to the earth through your feet. Maybe with some gentle movements. Now, either with a soft gaze or with your eyes closed, go ahead and notice in your body where you feel the most sensation. And wherever that is, go ahead and bring your hands to relax there. So bringing your hands to touch that area. And then focusing your attention on that area, wherever it is. Noticing the sensations. Imagine that that area is made up of a whole bunch of little bits that are all in there doing something, some kind of action. Maybe they're buzzing around. Maybe they're stuck together. Maybe they're fighting. Maybe they're lounging. What are they doing? Notice the bits. So just being with what is. If the energy is strong still, you can go back to what we were doing earlier with the breathing. And if you feel more calm and peaceful, we'll move into the next step of the process now. You can stay standing or you can find a nice comfortable seat. So wherever you are, soften your gaze or potentially close your eyes. If you're sitting down, you can move more into a relaxed and meditative state. Continue to bring your hands to whatever zone of your body you notice the most sensation. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze and just breathing towards a sensation. We're going to go back to the original scene where this original anger was evoked. So even if the situation was just recently triggered, we're going to go back to the original point where this energy was originally ignited. So it might have been what just happened, or it could have been quite a bit in the past. So just breathing into the sensations in this area in your body and asking to go back to the first scene, the first experience that you went through of this particular energy. So allow that scene to come into your mind's eye, seeing yourself there. It could have been just a few days ago, or it could have been 50 years ago. Just imagine yourself, this past self, in that scene. See your current self, the one that is doing this process, as also in that scene present with your past self. So it's almost as if you, as the observer of this scene, are there to provide an energetic support to the past self who was in that scene. Offering that past self the resources of wisdom and knowledge and experience that you now have, and you're bringing it into that past scene. So you're bringing the consciousness of the current self into this past scene so that perhaps you can develop a new awareness about it that you weren't capable of in the past. As you observe this past scene, what is happening in the scene? So simply notice and observe what you see in the scene. You may take a moment just to observe the surroundings, maybe the furniture in the room or the environment, the temperature of the air, the people that are there. Notice what you notice about the scene itself, and notice what you notice about the people who are in the scene. Now, ask to receive a deeper understanding of the truth of this interaction. What is the deeper truth of this experience? Allow any insight that wants to come to you without force. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need more time. As you witness your past self, notice what resources and consciousness that you are in and what you lack. What is the support that you lack? What is it that you need that you lack in that moment? And what energetic support could you in your current self offer this past self so that you're better resourced to handle that moment with full consciousness? You may, for example, be witnessing your past self experiencing an incredible injustice. But even coming to that past scene and offering that past self the support of such words as, you are experiencing an injustice, and what is happening is not right, it's not fair. I'm here with you. You are strong. You're going to make it through this, and you will come out the other side well. And you're not alone. You are supported. And even though what's happening isn't right, you're going to be okay. So offering that self the energetic support of what you needed in that moment. Now, as you look at this past self experiencing this entire situation, imagine that this situation that your past self is experiencing is a perfect setup to help that self to develop certain traits of empowerment. Almost as though that exact situation is an incubator to move you into a certain version of yourself. What are the traits that you are being called to develop in that moment? What are the traits that are wanting to be developed? Take a nice deep breath. Begin to bring your consciousness more fully back into this room in the here and now. Thank yourself for being fully present for something that is difficult to be present for. And taking from that past scene the traits that are wanting to be developed, maybe it's one trait or several, what is an action step or a new behavior that you can take now in your current life to begin to demonstrate and embody this new trait that's wanting to be fully anchored in for you? So for example, if the new trait is that you easily set boundaries and stay in your power instead of people pleasing and engaging in codependent behaviors, maybe a next step could be, I commit to voicing my no. So that new behavior of saying no is going to require you to step into uncomfortable moments of speaking up for yourself, and therefore developing a new trait of being empowered. And anger often does deal with an abuse of power, and so being empowered can be the antidote to that. But I'd be curious to hear from you, what is the trait that's being developed in you, and what your next step is. If you'd be willing to share, you can comment below. I'd love to hear and to interact with you about that. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for participating, and it really is challenging to be present with these difficult and big emotions and this big energy, and so if you did do that activity, good for you. Just make sure you take care of yourself, drink lots of water, do grounding things like go for a swim if you can, have a bath, go for a hike, spend time in nature, go for a walk, get a hug, drink tea on the couch, put yourself in blankets, give yourself a massage or get a massage. Those kind of nourishing, nurturing things are really helpful to just help you integrate from that big energy and the new awareness that you just harnessed. If you're new to my channel, I would be so grateful to have you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay in touch as I share more and more videos in the Awaken to Your Starseed mission series, as well as about human design. In our next video, we're going to be exploring a progress report and a progress update, and then the following one is the much anticipated video about social media. So I can't wait to share those with you. And until next time, thank you so much for being with me for this video. Really appreciate it. Much love. Bye. What's up? I'm in the middle of filming. What's going on? Oh, you need your computer? It's okay. It's okay.